this edition of High School Rewind, available on Xfinity On Demand. We are at Kearns High School as the Kearns Cougars prepare to host the East Leopards in a Region 6 contest. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here to bring you tonight's game, and this is a good matchup between a couple very even teams here in Region 6. Let's start first of all with the visiting East Leopards. 9-7 overall, 6-2 in region play are the Leopards, coming off of a 59-50 victory over the Highland Rams, their rival here in this Region 6. And this is a team that is led by maybe one of the tallest players in the entire region, that being Mark Jackson, the senior 7'2" center, averaging 16 points per game and 5 rebounds per game coming into tonight's action. He's had a really good season this year. And then mention a kid like Dacian Spotted Elk. Watch for the junior, second on the team in scoring with 14 points per game, but he can really light it up in that victory over Highland. He went for 27 points. This is a kid who can really get to the hoop and can really score a lot of points very quickly for you. And then you factor in a couple other kids such as Blake Hansen and Hayden Bands, and you've got a number of players for the Leopards that can contribute on any given night. Makes them a tough team to match up with. Speaking of matchup, let's switch and talk a little bit about the Kearns Cougars. Coming in tonight, 10-7 overall and 5-3 in region play, coming off a really tough loss to the Bountiful Braves, a game in which it looked like Kearns may be able to pull it out. They ended up losing 78-72, but they've got a couple of players that are really just dynamites on the basketball floor. Let's start with Bushman Ebeck, the senior having a fantastic senior season. Leads the team in scoring with 18 points per ball game. This kid also leads the state in steals. He's averaging nearly 5 steals per game. Ebeck has been absolutely fantastic in his senior season. And then a kid like Quaheen. Watch out for this kid as well. Don't hear a lot about Quaheen, but this is a major contributor for the Cougars. He averages 14 points per game. In that loss against Bountiful, he led the way in scoring with 21 points. And then you can't mention the Cougars without talking about their junior point guard, that being Taylor Martelis. Martelis, an absolutely fantastic player this year for the Cougars, third on the team in scoring, but he can also light it up. Against Bountiful, scored 19 points, hit 5 3-pointers in that near upset of the #1 team here in 4A. And then he leads the team in assists, so this is a guy who can do it all over, and second in 4A in steals. This kid is absolutely fantastic. Just a junior, Martelis is, but he provides a lot of experience and a lot of leadership for these Cougars. These two teams just one game apart in the Region 6 standings. They met already earlier this year. The Leopards pulled out a squeaker 49-47 victory over the Kearns Cougars. Kearns certainly looking to protect their home floor tonight and maybe get a little bit of revenge. Will they be able to? We're about to find out as tip-off coming your way next here on High School Rewind. Ready to tip here from Kearns High School East in their road red and Kearns in the home white. And it is Mark Jackson, the big 7'2" center. We talked about him in our open, able to control the tip for the Leopards. As now with it near side is Bands. Swinging the ball around, Spotted Elk being guarded by Ebeck. And a nice job defensively. That's going to be a fun matchup all night to watch as into the post they go. Jackson draws the triple team. That ball on the ground, and Mark Jackson ended up kicking it. It'll be Kearns' ball. The triple team came, and it turned into a turnover. Going now to the Cougars is Martelis with the drive as that pass deflected out off of Sutton. Martelis will inbound to Kuth. Hands off. Martelis for 3. Count it! We mentioned in our open, Taylor Martelis hit 5 3-pointers last week in their loss to Bountiful. He starts off tonight with another one. As Martelis on a foul here as he's able to draw it. Jackson came up to set the screen, and that hip into Martelis will be Jackson's first foul. Taylor Martelis making an impact here early on, just a minute into the ball game. So he brings it across the timeline. Screen from Kuth. Heat check, that one front of the rim, rebounded by Spotted Elk, and up the floor it comes for the Leopards. And now a quick foul here called on Bushman Ebeck. That will be his first. Jordan Sutton passes to Bance. Bance, just a sophomore. He's had a good season. As there's a 3-pointer for Blake Hansen. We're knotted up at 3 as the junior guard for East. Able to tie things up here. Mentioned Hansen. one of the leading trio here for the Leopards. Is that shot no good? Rebound from Ebeck, no good. As Sutton with some fancy ball handling out to Hansen, able to save it. Nice save on that far boundary by Jordan Sutton to maintain the possession. Then an offensive foul going to be called here on Spotted Elk. A couple offensive fouls here in the early going on the Leopards, one on Jackson and one on Spotted Elk. Here's Journey Buba with it, top of the key. Quaheen passes over to Ebeck. Pull up Jay from the elbow, no good. Rebounded by Jackson as the Leopards bring it back up the floor. Able to find Hansen on the wing. Now it's Sutton. Jackson looking to work the block. That one tipped out. Give credit to Journey Buba, who came down and was able to knock it out of the hands. And now a loose ball picked up by Ebeck. Martelis thought about the three. Good find to Buba on the baseline. That just rimmed out on Journey. And Journey Buba, just a freshman, had some nice minutes in that game against Bountiful last week and gets the start again here tonight. Spotted Elk will try the triple from straight away. No good. Buba couldn't bring it in, and it will stay here underneath with the Leopards. There's a turnover. Martelis has a man. It's Buba. Lay it up and in for the freshman. And Taylor Martelis able to get the steal and the assist on the play. Mentioned this is a kid who fills up the stat sheet in a number of different ways, and a couple big ones there. There's a steal from Ebeck. Look out. Take flight, young man. Bushman Ebeck. His first points of the night. That brings the Kearns crowd to their feet. They love their athleticism here in Kearns. This is a high-flying team. Jackson working the post. Sutton trying to go into him. Good defense by Kuth. Able to knock it away. Now up the floor. They had a 2-on-1, but that thrown out in front of Quaheen, and it will be East basketball. Ryan Hurlbert has checked in for East. Number 24 is again they go to the post. Jackson, nice quick move. Pass it over to Hurlbert. Now Hansen for three. That shot no good. And it's Ebeck again. And that time again right through the hands of Quaheen, and Kearns will turn it over again. Taylor Thomas comes in for Kearns now, leading 7-3 midway through our opening quarter. Spans put it on the floor. Now pull up for Spotted Elk. That shot no good. Tapped out by Jackson to Spotted Elk, who will try again and hits that one. First points of the night for the junior guard, Dacian Spotted Elk. And again, Kearns trying to push it and turn it over in the process. Bands brings the ball up the floor. 7-5 now our score. Little zone defense here from the Cougars. Spotted Elk thought about the three, now drives, finds Jackson underneath, and he missed the dunk. They'll stop play to fix the net, as it will be a Kearns ball out underneath. Martelis to Quaheen looking to drive, able to create some space, back of the iron, rebounded by Spotted Elk. Being picked up by Bushman Ebeck. Over to Hansen. He's going to pull up that from just inside the three-point line as his foot was on the line, rebounded by Bushman. Boy, he's rushing it up the floor. Tough reverse, no good, and then a foul going to be called here on Kuth on the rebound. Kearns looking to really get the tempo going, but it's led to some early turnovers as Spotted Elk able to find Jackson. He'll throw that one down. Mark Jackson able to avenge his earlier miss, and good for him as we're now tied up at 7 apiece. As we mentioned, Kearns pushing it. East gave them a spot of their own medicine that time, as now that arm bar going to be called here on Bands. It'll be his first foul. Martelis inbounds quickly. It's now Quaheen with it. And now Journey. Ebeck with it. He's going to fire away. Bushman Ebeck for three. One of the things that this Kearns team probably doesn't get as much credit for as they should is their ability to shoot the long ball. We mentioned Martelis, his ability as the ref takes a tumble. Kearns students over there helping him up. Now a three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebounded and then turned over. It's Hurlburt and threw it right back. As it's Hansen able to attack, and he gets fouled by Martelis as Blake Hansen now to the line. First foul on Martelis is Hansen at the line, able to go 1 of 2 as he missed his second one there, rebounded by Kuth. As Jordan Sutton has checked back into the ballgame for the Leopards, who now find themselves trailing 10-8. Boy, good pass to Ebeck as it will come back out to Martelis. Thought about the three, got his man in the air as Taylor able to find Ebeck underneath. Going glass, and 7 points here in this first quarter for Bushman Ebeck. Solid start as he nearly had the steal there. It was out off of Bushman. We'll stay here with East. Ball inbounded to Hansen. Numbers if he pushes. Instead, East wisely will pull it back out and reset. Spotted Elk with it in the corner, passes back up top. Hansen able to find Jackson with a bit of a move as he goes towards the hoop, and a foul called here on Kearns as to the line will be Mark Jackson to shoot. First foul on Quaheen as Jackson at the line missed his first, second attempt, good. Approaching 1 minute left. Ebeck passes over to Kuth. Now back up top. Martelis with it. East in that zone. Been in it for much of this first quarter. Martelis. 12-9, our score, 40 seconds remaining. Kearns bit a little bit by the turnover bug here in this first quarter. Had a number of fast break opportunities. Unable to convert. Boy, Journey had some space. Didn't quite realize it as Kearns now will pull it back out once again. The clock now down to 20 seconds. Is happy to hold it here is Quaheen. Waiting for that last shot as he'll call Martelis over to the center of the floor. With 10 seconds now, they'll get into their offense. Quaheen at the elbow. They go to Ebeck in the corner, down to 3 seconds. Got to get a shot away. Martelis, and he double dribbled with it. Boy, that one almost went. Wouldn't have counted anyway as he turns it over with 0.3 left. Inbound Hansen, shot won't go. And that will expire the first quarter. 12-9. Cougars out in front after one. Quaheen with it, using the screen from Thomas. Now back to the center of the floor as he tries to float it off the glass. And Quaheen with his first points of the ball game. Now a 5-point lead for the home squad as Blake Hansen running into some pressure. Over to Sutton. Able to get it across the timeline as Sutton now trying to float it up. That shot left a little short, and now pushing it the other way is Quaheen again. Looking to go in the paint, off glass, no good. Put back miss, and then a foul going to be called here on Sutton on the rebound. First foul on Sutton, fourth team foul on the Leopards. Is that inbound? Ebeck couldn't handle the pass and turns it over. Sutton up to Spotted Elk. Able to get around the Kearns defender. Dacian shot no good. That ball going to be out off of Hurlburt into the Kearns Cougars. Now East elects to apply a little token pressure. Martelis calls out the plays as he brings it across half court. Over to Thomas, and a travel on Martelis, and he doesn't know what he did wrong. A couple calls against Taylor Martelis. Had the double dribble to end the first quarter there, a travel. Gives possession back to the Leopards. Kicked out. Blake Hansen with it in the corner. Now we'll dribble it out. And back up top with Bands. Sophomore kicked out, Sutton with the pump fake. Now some space from 17. Shot no good. Rebounded by Thomas. Up the floor to Ebeck. Once again, Bushman Ebeck jumps through the roof to throw it down with two hands. And it's 16-9. Kearns out in front. 16-9, and the largest lead of the ball game now for the Kearns Cougars as Bushman Ebeck leading the way. Has 9 points. Boy, good defense put on by Bushman that time as Spotted Elk had nowhere to go with it. Vance passes over to Hansen. And really good D now by Kearns as East unable to get the ball on the inside, working that perimeter. Boy, good find by Hurlbut, and then passed out to Hansen for three. No good. Looked like Spotted Elk may have had a chance at the reverse. Instead, was looking to go the way of the three and turned it over. Now giving right back as Kearns getting a little fancy with it. This is Dan Rondo over to Spotted Elk. No good. Thomas with the board. Now Marteles as we're approaching 5.5 minutes remaining here in our first half. East still hasn't scored in this second quarter. Is over to Quaheen with it. And then we get a foul called here against against Spotted Elk. I think that'll be his second. Jackson has come back into the ball game for Spotted Elk. Here's Marteles with it now, straight away, being guarded by Rondo. Over to Quaheen. East back in that zone defense here with Jackson back on the floor. Marteles, a long three, no good. Thomas looks to save it, does so right into the hands of Hayden Bands and turns it over. Nearly able to get it back. Well, how about that feisty D? And now it's a 3-on-2. Kicked out Rondo, gonna try the three-pointer. That shot no good. And a foul call here on Quaheen underneath as he was trying to get the board. Second personal on Quaheen as Booba checks in for him. 15th foul and turned over to Marteles. Over to Bushman Ebeck. What a play, couldn't get it to fall. Saved by Marteles. And now Bushman looking for some space. Fancy spin move put on there, goes glass, can't get it. And there's the big 7-2 Jackson to reel in the board. Boy, a couple of really nice shots by Kearns that last possession, just couldn't find the bottom of the net. Jackson able to use those long arms to the hoop, and that one will just come off the rim as he gets fouled on the shot. They're gonna get Kuth here for the personal, and now Jackson to the line to shoot two. Clyde checks back in for Kearns as Jackson at the line, able to make them both. First points of this second quarter for the Leopards. We're nearly midway through. There's Thomas with it. Clyde to the corner. Bushman Ebeck for three. Front of the iron. Yeah, excuse me. Rebounded by Rondo. Spotted Elk looking to drive. That shot no good. Was looking for some help from the officials. Up to Journey. Booba to lay it in. And a timeout taken here by Kearns. 18-11 midway through the second. Sutton. Now Kearns in a bit of a zone. It's over to Rondo. Spotted Elk able to find Hurlbut, able to save it, but does so right into the hands of Clyde. And now a foul called here, and if that is on Spotted Elk, that will be number 3. It is. That was the third personal on Dacian Spotted Elk. He heads to the bench. That's a big call there as Blake Hansen has checked in for East. Meanwhile, in for Kearns, Isaiah Oda has checked in. Marteles will call out Journey, who has it now. Again, East playing in that zone. They've done it with Jackson on the floor, and happy to do it again here is Oda. Swinging that perimeter. Over to Marteles. Marteles gonna fire the three. That shot no good. Ebeck able to follow it up. Martellis thought about it again, put it on the floor, and he gets fouled on the floor, as this will be called on Jordan Sutton. To the line to shoot 1 and 1 will be Taylor Martellis. Bance is checked back in for East, as has Taj Williams. Meanwhile, Martellis at the line made his first free throw, is awarded a second, makes that as well, and it's 20-11. 5 points unofficially now for Taylor Martellis. Hansen swings over to Bands. Cross-court pass. Williams finds Jackson. Defense collapses down. He'll pass out of it. 2.5 remaining here in the second. 9-point lead, largest of the game. Jackson with the board and the easy putback. 7 points for Mark Jackson to lead everyone for East, as Ebeck with the fancy behind the back, and look at that finish. Looked like he dribbled into the defense, able to go around the back, up and under Mark Jackson. And Bushman Ebeck with 11 points to lead all scorers in this ball game. 2 minutes left here in the second quarter. Jackson, the double team, passes out of it. Three-pointer for Hayden Bands. That shot no good. Rebounded by Oda for the Cougars. Ebeck up quickly to Thomas. Now Ebeck looking to drive again. Behind the back pass to Journey, and Bushman got it back. Couldn't finish as he is fouled on the play, and to the line to shoot 2 will be Bushman Ebeck. Rondo is checked back in for East. Meanwhile, at the line, Ebeck able to go 2 of 2, and it is a 24-13 Cougar lead. Clock approaching 1.5 remaining here in our opening half. Skip pass to Bands, gonna fire the three. Hayden Bands, a big three-pointer, his first points of the night, as he'll cut the lead now down to 8 as Journey Buba takes advantage of the drive lane. No one stopped the ball, and he just went right to the hoop. Trying to answer, couldn't do it. That time was Hurlbert, as we've got a foul here called on Kearns. Second foul on Martellis is at the line. Hurlbert made his first, missed his second. Bushman Ebeck with the board. Look at that kid. Had the turbo going the entire way, as Bushman Ebeck with 8 points in the quarter and 15 on the ball game. Wow, under a minute to play here in the second quarter. That pass turned over. Taylor Thomas with it, far side of the floor. Now calling for some help. We'll get it to Bushman. Screen by Buba. Clock now down to 25 seconds as Bushman dribbles it back out. And nearly turned it over. Getting a hand on it was Williams, but it's Journey Buba who's able to reel it in. That shot by Buba, no good. Rebounded by Hansen as he dribbles it up the floor. 10 seconds left. And then it is stolen. Up ahead. Put on the anti-gravity boots. Bushman Ebeck with a nasty one-handed dunk, and that is how the first half will end. Bushman Ebeck having a night to remember. 17 points and a 30-17 lead for the Cougars at the half.
High School Rewind is excited to have Nudge as our Player of the Game sponsor. Nudge is one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. With over 500 employees, Nudge is one of the largest contributors of volunteer community outreach programs. To learn more about Nudge and their program, visit www.nudge.com.
The Leopards trail by 13 as we start this second half. Over to Bands. Hansen near side now to Sutton. Cross-court pass. Bands thought about the three. Instead gave it to Dacian. Spotted out. Finds a bit of a hole. That shot blocked by Kuth. And then nearly stolen by Hansen, though it is out off of him. Able to quickly break that pressure. As now Buba leaves it for Martellis. He'll drive baseline, hands off to Kuth, who throws it down. Kerr Kuth starts the second half with a bang. It's 32-17. That's impressive too when you have the 7-2 Jackson bearing down on you. Spotted Elk couldn't get that jumper to fall. Actually, excuse me, it wasn't him. I think it was actually Sutton. Possession retained by the Leopards. Hansen in the corner. Sutton being guarded by Quaheen. Passes out. Bands now. Jackson to work the post. Turns around. And that shot a little too hard as Hansen able to get the ball on the weak side. Finds Dacian. That jumper's good for Dacian. Spotted Elk. Quiet first half for Spotted Elk. Had a couple minutes where came in, picked up a foul, came in shortly thereafter and picked up his third, and the fouls did not help him in that first half. Had 3 at the break. As Martellis able to get the shot up over Bands. Martellis now unofficially with 7. Spotted Elk not being on the floor really hampered this East offense. He's going to have to play well in this second half. Smart. Don't want to pick up that 4th foul anytime soon. It's in the corner. Sutton over to Dacian. Now they'll swing it. In the corner, Hansen for 3. That ball would not fall. Rebounded by Kuth. It's Quaheen now looking to drive to the hoop, and he gets fouled. Count the bucket for Bly Quaheen as he drives hard. Foul will be on Sutton, and Quaheen will go to the line for the 3-point play. Free throw, no good. Rebounded by Jackson. As Dacian now brings it up the floor for the Leopards. Now 17-point lead, the largest deficit of the game for East High. As Bushman got a hand on that. Sutton to Hansen, extra pass, Bands for 3. That shot no good. There's Dacian on the weak side, though that shot deflected and out of bounds off of Kearns. Inbounded to Sutton, corner 3 on the way. That shot no good, and it's Martellis. Will push it up the floor for the Cougars. Boy, tough lay-in, wouldn't go. Journey tried to get it back up. His shot no good, and it's Martellis who will dribble it out from the interior. Now Bushman able to find Journey, extra pass to Kuth, turned over. Now numbers for the Leopards, down the other way. It's Sutton able to lay it up and in for the Leopards. Now here's Quaheen with the pull-up J, won't fall. Spotted Elk able to find Hansen for about 8 feet. Blake Hansen. Quick back-to-back buckets for the Leopards, and Coach Cosby will take a timeout for Kearns. Approaching the midway point here of this third quarter. That ball nearly turned over as Bushman able to step up and retain possession. Kuth couldn't get it to go. There's Quaheen with the follow. 6 points unofficially now for Bly Quaheen. 4 in this third quarter. Ebeck had the big first half, 17 points in that first half. In the third, he's shared the load scoring. His teammates have been up to the bill. Jackson's pass couldn't be hauled in by Sutton, and East turns it over. Again, East showing a little bit of that pressure. Ebeck with it now. Quaheen dribbling to some space, a long baseline jumper, no good. Rebound by Hayden Bands, the sophomore. Now will bring it up the floor and nearly turned it over. Martellis saves it, and it's off the leg of Hansen. Heady play there by the junior guard, Taylor Martellis. Ebeck over to Buba. Cross-court pass to Martellis. Able to use Quaheen as a bit of a screen there, and Taylor Martellis now with 9 points in the contest. As Bands will kick this out. Sutton extra pass Stolen by Ebeck. Couldn't get it to go. Couple follow-ups, and Bushman Ebeck now will dribble it out. Boy, Ebeck took off trying to lay it in. Came down hard on the floor, and there's Hansen to steal it. And he is fouled before he could get the ball up the floor. As this call will go against Quaheen. 40-23, 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Over to Spotted Elk, a long three for Dacian Spotted Elk. A big three-pointer there for the junior from long range. Nice shot. Boy, Thomas had some space along that baseline, gave it back out to Kuth. He looked like he may have taken a shot right near the eye as a foul called here on Hansen. Kuth will hand off to Martelis, top of the key. Screen by Kuth. Martelis, about 17. Taylor Martelis having a strong third quarter. Kicked off the game right with that three, and now 3 jumpers as Dacian's shot rims out on him. There's Jackson with the putback, his first points of this second half, and a quick timeout by East. Kearns up the floor quickly. Kuth man on the spot, able to save the possession there. Over to Ebeck, dribbles through the D, was trying to get it to Thomas down low. They say that ball out off of East. Able to inbound to Martelis. Now up top with Ebeck. Screen from Kuth. Martelis doesn't need it. Another long range shot from Taylor Martelis, his second three-pointer of the ball game. And now 9 points in the quarter for the junior point guard for the Cougars. Jackson with it, trying to get it underneath the Hurlburt. Deflected out off of Kearns. 14 points for Martelis, who just hit that three. This ball inbounded to Hurlburt, and out off of East. Martelis inbounds to Ebeck, now up the floor to Thomas quickly. And that ball out off of Jackson. Martelis using the screen from Kuth. Out to Ebeck, able to find Thomas. Extra pass, and it's Quaheen for 3. That shot no good. Oh, Ebeck almost had a ferocious putback. Just couldn't finish, and it will be East ball out. Under a minute remaining here in the third quarter, 45-28. Kearns still out in front. Hansen. Now this is Rondeau. His pass turned over to Thomas. Now Martelis brings it up the floor. Over to Ebeck. He's going to drive and throw it down again. Bushman Ebeck over Mark Jackson. My goodness. Dacian Spotted Elk answers with a big 3, and now 8 points for Spotted Elk in the quarter. Extra pass to Martelis, and he goes to the floor hard as Hansen, trying to defend the pass, came down right on Martelis. Bands has checked in for East. Oda back on the floor for Kearns. It's Thomas with it, and he double dribbled with it there. "12 seconds left here in the third. Spotted Elk brings it across the timeline. Bands dribbles out, clock now down to 5. Hansen to Dacian, corner 3, no good. Rebound, and a foul called here on Martelis, as it was Hurlburt who brought in the board with less than a second left. Inbound for East, Hurlburt, shot no good, and the quarters come to an end. 47-31, the Cougars look to protect home court here over East as we head to the fourth. 47-31, Kearns advantage as they start with the possession here this fourth quarter. Ebeck looking for a lane to drive. Good D by Hansen, and Hansen took it right away from him. Excellent job defensively by the junior guard, Blake Hansen. It's one thing we haven't mentioned in this game. East extremely young. A lot of juniors, couple sophomores on this roster. As that pass from Spotted Elk intercepted by Quaheen. Just two sophomores on the roster, Taj Williams and Mark Jackson for the East Leopards. Kuth gonna fire the three. That's a shot he can make. He actually made a couple of those in their last contest against Bountiful as Booba had the board and he got fouled underneath as this is called on Holbert. Kuth will hand off to Martelis back near midcourt. Being guarded by Bance. He's one of the sophomores. Martelis for three again. His third three-pointer of the ball game. Taylor Martelis now unofficially with 17 points. He leads Kearns in three-point shooting with nearly 2 per. And there's Hayden Bands to answer right back. He had a 3 in the first half and his second 3 of the ball game right there. Bands also the East leader in three-point shots as Martelis' shot deflected, then turned right back over. Martelis on the floor still holding that elbow. Kearns will hope that he's okay. The floor general there. Taylor Thomas is checked in for Kearns as they will look at Martelis on the Kearns bench. Ebeck now being hounded again by Hansen. Behind the back dribble. Now it's Quaheen looking to drive, pull up, that shot, boy, Spotted Elk thought he got a lot of ball, looked like he did. Officials disagree as they call the foul. It's the 4th foul on Dacian. Spotted Elk is at the line. By Quaheen. Goes 1 of 2. Missed that second one as a foul called here. First foul of the game on Journey Booba, 3rd team foul on the Cougars. 5 team fouls, meanwhile, on East. As here's Spotted Elk for 3. Count the 3 and the foul as Kuth came out to defend it. Spotted Elk able to hit the 3 and he'll head to the line. 3rd foul on Kerr Kuth. As Dacian Spotted Elk able to convert the 4-point play. How about that? And then it's stolen. Hansen able to steal it away, and now East able to get this back to within manageable territory here as they trail here by 13, 6 minutes remaining. Bance being hounded by Booba, now Spotted Elk looking to drive to the hole, no good, gets his own board, the putback, no good, and now Hurlbert with the offensive board. Extra pass, Hansen for 3, no good, and it's Booba now out on the run. 2-on-1, Ebeck going glass, count the bucket as Bushman Ebeck again hard to the lane as the foul will be called here on Bands. Ebeck at the line missed his free throw, and now a foul here on Booba as, boy, he just kind of undercut Jackson that time. Jackson hits the floor hard. Failed to mention Martelis is checked back in. He's maybe favoring that arm a little bit, but good to see that he's okay and back and playing. Here's Spotted Elk around the screen. Now a step back 3 for Dacian. Well, that shot was close, missed it. Now Hansen fighting for the ball, and a dual possession called, and possession will be awarded to the Leopards. We've really seen Blake Hansen get after it here in the 4th. Had a steal a couple possessions ago. They're able to force the dual possession. The Spotted Elk looking underneath the Hurlbert. That ball broken up by Ebeck, and then a foul called on the play. Second foul on Hurlbert as Jordan Sutton has checked in for East. At the line, Quaheen able to go 2 of 2. The lead now 55-38. Advantage for the home squad as we approach 5 minutes remaining here in the contest. Lead back up to 17. In the corner, Sutton able to get it to Jackson. Passes out of the double team, and now Hurlbert in the post. Dangerous pass that Quaheen was nearly able to get a paw on. Safely arrives at its intended target. Bance nearly stolen away again. Hurlbert can't get the shot to fall. Now nearly stolen as we get a foul called here. I believe it's going to be on Ebeck. Excuse me, foul was called on Booba, his 3rd, and the 16th foul on the Cougars. So East will be shooting from here on out. Nice find by Jackson, able to save it from Hurlburt. Three-pointer by Bans is no good, and it's Quaheen with the board, and up the floor he comes for the Cougars. Now being hounded again by Hansen. Over to Ebeck. Kuth not afraid to shoot. Shot no good as it's Hayden Bans on the far side, able to reel it in. Stolen. Bushman Ebeck, you're cleared for takeoff. He's been a one-man dunking contest tonight. Bushman Ebeck, the fans have absolutely loved it. As 4 minutes left gives the Kearns Cougars their largest lead of the night at 19. Also leads all scorers in the contest now with unofficially 23. As that shot by Bans no good. And we have a foul underneath. Going to be called on Quaheen. Fourth foul on Quaheen. 1-1 at the line for Ryan Hurlburt. Missed the front end, and it's Quaheen who's able to get the board. Martelly's now being hounded with pressure. Quaheen up to Ebeck. He was looking to go the way of Thomas, and the long arms of Jackson got in the way. Now Ebeck trying to pressure Sutton. Sutton able to get it up the floor to Hurlburt. Pass to the corner was looking the way of Bans. He throws it back. Loose ball. Ebeck chasing it down to save it. Does so to the bench, and it will be East basketball. East basketball now. Spotted Elk is checked back into the game. That's him with the ball. A long jumper. No good as it will be out of bounds off of Kearns. Bans to inbound, does so to Sutton. Now Dacey and Spotted Elk able to find Jackson. He was looking to pass out to Bans for the three, and Bans had left the area. Martelly's having to deal with some pressure here by East, and a foul going to be called on Hansen. Fourth foul on Blake Hansen to the line. Taylor Martelly shooting the front end of 1-1. And he missed it. Jackson with the board for the Leopards. 3 minutes remaining here in the contest. 57-38, up the floor quickly. Hansen able to lay it up and in. Now here's Quaheen attacking at the other end as he draws contact from Jackson, and Bly Quaheen will head to the line. Second foul on Jackson. Meanwhile, Bly Quaheen goes 2 of 2 at the line. It's 59-40. Over to Dacian. Entry pass, Jackson kicks out, Bans for three. There it is again. Hayden Bans, his third three-pointer of this ball game. It's 59-43 as Ebeck able to dribble through the pressure and then lost it into the hands of Blake Hansen. Over to Sutton. Finds some space from 17, and Sutton's shot no good. Rebounded by Hansen. Now Dacian with it again. Looking somewhere to go. We'll get that over to Blake Hansen. Nice pump fake. And the net ball nearly taken right away from him by Journey Buba, as Buba will get called for a foul here. Fourth foul on Journey Buba is to the line. Blake Hansen shooting 1-1. And they missed the front end of it. Rebounded by Quaheen. Boy, nice pass from Buba. Now Kuth will pass out. And Kearns now will slow it down a little bit with Martelly's. Buba finds some space. Back out to Martelly's. Double team comes. Quaheen, his pass turned over. Up the floor to Hansen it goes. His shot no good. Bance with the follow, couldn't get it to fall. And now Kuth is fouled as he collected the rebound. This foul will be called on Jordan Sutton. Kuth goes 1 of 2 at the line. 60-43 our score. Minute 30 remaining as Nick Beck and Dara Mike have both made their first appearance in the ball game for the Cougars. As that three-pointer by Bans no good. Ball tipped around. It's Martelly's up ahead. Show him how! Oh, and Ebeck missed it. Had a chance. He was trying to go glass. And then the ball hit the boundary line, and it will be East basketball. Sutton dribbling through pressure. That shot blocked by Kuth. Underneath, Hurlburt can't get it to fall. It's been that kind of shooting night for the Leopards as it is out off of East. Ebeck able to dribble around the pressure. Now triple teamed on that sideline as he gets fouled, and Bushman Ebeck will head to the line to shoot two. Ebeck at the line, goes 1 of 2 on the trip as Blake Hansen just picked up his 5th foul. He is fouled out of the game. Taj Williams just came on for him, missed the 3. Jackson with the board, and Jackson able to get the putback as initially was being guarded by by Dara. And then able to get it over the skying Kuth for 2. Kuth with it here. We'll hand off to Martelis as the clock now down to 35 seconds. Back able to get it to Dara Mike. Now back up top with Martelis. And we've got our whistle here as Martelis turned it over again. Andrew Beets has come on for East, a sophomore, 6'4" center. Meanwhile, Graydon Luckhart also on for the Kearns Cougars, number 5. He's playing defense right there. His clock now down to 18. 3-pointer from Bance, no good. Rebounded by Beck, and that deflected out off of Beets. 13.5 left, inbounded to Martelis. Clock down to 10. Just have to get it over the timeline. There you do. Kuth with the ball. Nearly stolen. It is. It's Beets with it. Now Williams throws up the half-court shot. Good if it goes. It doesn't. It was a solid effort tonight by the Cougars. Defend their home court. Avenge an earlier loss to the Leopards with a 61-45 victory. Again, our final score here from Kearns High School. The Kearns Cougars, 61-45 victors over the East Leopards. In this game, a lot riding on it tonight for the Kearns Cougars. They were tied in 3rd place coming into tonight, a game behind these very East Leopards. They lost to the East Leopards. There's a lot on the line trying to avenge that earlier loss and at least get into a tie for 2nd place. They came out to a good start here tonight. These two teams played a relatively close first quarter. It was in that second when Bushman Ebeck really took over the ball game. He had 10 points in the 2nd quarter alone as the Kearns Cougars would open up a 30-17 lead at the break. Ebeck had 17 points at the half. In the 3rd quarter, it was more Kearns, except at this time, instead of Ebeck, it was the junior point guard, Taylor Marchelis, who really got things going in the 3rd quarter. He would have a fantastic night tonight, ending up with 17 points on the night in the ball game. I mentioned Bushman Ebeck, his stellar night continued. I think he had 5 dunks tonight. Absolutely spectacular night for the senior. He finished with 24 points to lead all scorers in this ball game. For the East Leopards, you know, this was a team that they have some really good options offensively. We mentioned Jackson down low. We mentioned Dacey and Spotted Elk. Spotted Elk got in some foul trouble. He picked up a couple fouls just within seconds of each other, had 3 in the 2nd quarter, and he lost a lot of time in this ball game trying to save him for the 2nd half. It was just by the time they could get him back in the game, it almost seemed to be too late. Hayden Band's a good shooter, struggled shooting the ball tonight. He had 9 points, but he probably missed a good 5 3-pointers, open shots. Just a sophomore. This is a kid who's certainly going to get better as he grows older. Tough shooting night for him. Meanwhile, for the Kearns Cougars, we already talked about Ebeck. We talked about Martelis. Also filling in tonight and doing a nice job was Bly Quaheen. Finished with 11 points. And that trio we talked about in our open, Ebeck, Quaheen, and Martelis, proved to be too much tonight for the Kearns Cougars, who now improved to 6-3 in region play, 11-7 overall. The East Leopards also 6-3 in region play, and they've got a tough one coming up next as they now have to go and face the Bountiful Braves, the number 1 team and undefeated here in this Region 6. That will be a tough one for the Leopards. Meanwhile, for the Kearns Cougars, next up, they will travel to Clearfield and a chance to continue to solidify a good seeding for the Cougars. Again, the final score here tonight, Kearns 61-45 victors over the East Leopards. It's now become time to announce our Nudge Player of the Game. We alluded to it a little earlier. It's got to be Bushman Ebeck. An absolutely fantastic game, 24 points, and really his outburst in the 2nd quarter, 10 points in that 2nd quarter, really provided the cushion and the lead that the Cougars would need en route to this 61-45 victory. Congratulations to Bushman Ebeck Nudge with over 500 employees, one of the largest growing companies, fastest growing companies in Utah County. To learn more, visit www.nudge.com. nudge.com. Congratulations to Bushman Ebeck and his Kearns Cougars, 61-45 victors over the East Leopards. We want to thank you for joining us on this edition of High School Rewind. For Bill Francis, my name is Dane Stewart. We'll see you next time.